Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to the In the Zone Daily ACD Recap for Friday, May 27th, 2016. In these recap videos, I go over the best ACD setups that occurred on this day. These videos are intended to show the types of trades the ACD method offers on a daily basis. Let's get into today's action. Okay, today we're going into a holiday weekend, 3-day weekend, and so market action was going to be slow, but you know, sometimes when you get into these slow markets, the market actually works the best. Okay, and today we had a great trade right off the bat, right off the open. We had a pivot range that was supposed to be support, and so right here you could have gotten long at the top of the pivot range, used the stop of the bottom of the pivot range. This is about 1.5 points, okay, risk, and it pushed up to about 94 on the first push. This first push had a pullback and then pushed all the way up to the A up. So depending on where you took some profits or got out, you know, this is a nice trade. That's about what's that, 4 or 5 points push, and then if you held it all the way up to the A up, you know, that's a really nice trade from 89.5 up to 95.5. The second trade of the day was a fade of the A up. Okay, and this was a great trade here. You use an 11 tick stop above and fade this and hold it until price can either take out your 11 tick stop or it gives you a stop out based on the time factor. But it never gave you a confirmed A up here. Pulls back. This bar gets back into the opening range, and this big bar looks like, you know, you're going to have some follow through, maybe down to the pivot range again, and possibly at this point you're probably thinking, wow, this is really weak. Can this get through the pivot range? Can we go down and get the A down? But one thing, you know, I want to point out is when you have a big bar like this, what you want to see is follow through, and you didn't get follow through. I had a little wick down here, but basically this next bar finishes, you know, back up, and so this lets you know that the selling was probably over. At this point, you're getting into the afternoon and it gets a little bit harder to trade. And we pushed up to the A up here, confirmed the A up late in the day. And this is a very hard trade to take. You're not going to be able to take this because while you're waiting for time, let me bring up a 1 minute chart and show you. In here, by the time it confirms, you know, it confirms around, you know, the 96 area, you only got about 2 points here worth of push. So you could take it, you know, it's just not the best trade, you know, late in the day on a Friday, right before a long weekend. So this day is a macro score +2 because it did confirm the A up late in the day. So it's a bullish day. And so that's going to do it, you know, for today. A very straightforward day. One thing I want to, you know, re-emphasize is you want to limit your risk. Okay, so you want your risk to be small, and right here this was a great place to put a long on because you know what your risk is. If it can push through the pivot range, you're out. Up here this is a great place to fade because where's your risk? You're going to have 11 tick stop, hard stop, and you're going to wait 5 minutes. You know, you're going to wait to see if they can spend 5 minutes here. Again, a small risk trade. This turned out to be, you know, a really nice trade with about 4 points or so here. This is another 4. So you got about 5 here and 4 here. And this action here is hard to trade because you're basically in the middle here. You're in the middle. You haven't confirmed anything. You don't have any low risk trades to put on. Now down here you could have bought in here, okay, and risked down to the bottom of the pivot range. But this isn't, you know, I wouldn't call this a time of day to be putting that trade on, and I don't feel like it's, you know, the smaller risk trade that you could take either. So, all right, guys, gone on too long. Everybody have a great weekend, and we'll talk at you again on Tuesday.